Look at that gorgeous skyline. Beantown, the PLL is back in Boston. Homecoming for the Cannons. But game 2 of our doubleheader tonight is the Denver Outlaws taking on the New York Atlas. Chris Cotter alongside Paul Carcaterra. This Atlas offense is phenomenal. Even coming off a loss last week, they've been unstoppable. So many passers, so many goal scorers, pretty much every ingredient you need.
Yeah, and it starts with Teat, who is leading the league with 35 points in 5 games. He is on pace to smash every big stat record in the PLL. It's the 1-2 punch with Xander Dixon. It's typically Teat feeding Dixon, who leads the league in goals, and he's got incredible wrists and a sixth sense for finding where Teat wants to pass the ball to him. This is year 2 of the combination together, and it is elite.
Goal rate is goals per touches, and both of these two are near the top of the league. Let's take a look at the Atlas lineup. It's powered by Ticketmaster.
Couple second-year pros with Gavin Adler and Makar. Adler leads the league in caused turnovers with Garrett Epple from the Boston Cannons. At the midfield, Miles Jones is having his best year in probably 3 or 4 seasons, and Brian Costabile broke out of a slump with 3 goals a week ago. We talked about Teat and Dixon. Don't sleep on Connor Schellenberger. The number 2 overall pick is second in the PLL in points, and he's done it in only 4 games. Props to Tim Sudan, finding some gems in the draft, and one of them was Graham Bundy Jr. Last week against the Redwoods, he was incredible. This is in Charlotte earlier in the season, his first pro career goal around the world, but it's the shooting stroke. It might be the sweetest thing in the league in terms of wind up into release. 4 points a week ago. Defensively, Giles Harris is the lockdown defender, but Manley and Bernhardt are cagey vets. We're so good off ball. Bundy is the slinger. Anderson's the do-it-all midfielder, and Sam Hanley can operate the offense from up top. You look at their attack. Brendan O'Neill, the first overall draft pick, 9 points in 1 game earlier in the season, 2 points in the other 2. So he's feast or famine, and he is looking to eat tonight.
Denver lineup is powered by Ticketmaster. Check out Liam Entenmann getting his first start as a professional tonight for the Atlas. He came in relief last week, this week getting the start. So that's going to be a big deal today as we look at Entenmann in the beginning, really the beginning of his professional career tonight. There's Brendan O'Neill. Kark mentioned it. He's been feast or famine this year. Had a huge game 2 weeks ago. And then just 1 goal last week, I should say. Tim Sudan behind him, the head coach, who's done a masterful job rebuilding this team. When you think about last year, the disaster. They won opening weekend last year and then lost 9 games in a row. Rebuilt this team in the offseason through the draft. And O'Neill and Bundy, guys like Dalton Young, Josh Zawada, all kinds of young players, Kark, contributing big time on this team.
You look at their last 2 weeks, right, when they stepped on the field, 31 goals combined. I mean, that is light years away from a season ago when they were last in every offensive category.
Mike Pressler, the head coach of the Atlas, got off to a great start this year. Won his first 4 games before falling to the Whips last week in their first loss in Minneapolis, but still 4-1 and a +15 scoring differential leading the Eastern Conference.
And it's their attack. When you think of Schellenberger, Teat, and Dixon, number 1, number 2, number 3 in the league in overall points, and Dixon has been such a good complement to the 2-quarterback system because he's the inside guy.
Josh Blaisdell, our head referee today. Interesting face-off matchup. Trevor Baptiste, the veteran. Luke Weirman, the rookie out of Maryland, was playing for the Terps just a month ago, and Baptiste wins it.
I'm looking for Baptiste really to respond. His last 2 weeks, under 50%.
Oh, how about that for responding? He wins the face-off and he scores. 15 seconds into the game.
He's not messing around. I couldn't even finish my thought. Trevor Baptiste was under 50% in his last 2 contests against T.D. Erlin And then against Joe Nardella, he wins it clean at the stripe to himself. And Weirman is known as a goal scorer too. And if you watch enough of Trevor Baptiste, he can let it fly. So Weirman gets caught in the substitution game. He goes to the box. Baptiste says, all right, you're not going to play me? I'm going to make it count. That is a veteran IQ move, kind of playing that cat and mouse game with Weirman, who did not stay on the field to defend Baptiste.
And we've got Weirman mic'd up. You can hear it. You can hear the battles. Bounce shot high. You can hear the battles at the face-off dot. That's going to be interesting audio tonight. There's another rookie who's had a great start to his career, Tyler Carpenter out of Duke.
He leads the league in non-face-off ground balls. I mean, he has been a complete vacuum in the middle of the field.
So many rookies. We talked about this just before the games today, Kark, about how this year just seems different from any other year in terms of the number of rookies that are really contributing to these teams' efforts.
It's amazing when you think about the depth, right? It's not just the top-heavy Schellenbergers and the O'Neills in this game, number 1 and number 2 going head-to-head in the draft. It's the depth. Guys like Carpenter and Graham Bundy.
Yeah, 21 rookies have scored this year so far this season. We're not even halfway through. And Liam Entenmann just makes his first save as a starter in the PLL on the other end.
You could argue this is one of the most anticipated up-and-coming goalies in pro lacrosse in many years. Two-time national champ at Notre Dame, MVP of 2023 championship weekend, built for this league.
There's Miles Jones. He's gotten off to a really good start this year. Good look in front. Couldn't get the shot off, though. That was Costabile. We'll get a loose ball push going against New York, so here comes Denver. That's O'Neill. Gets rid of it. Here's Bundy. An absolute howitzer from distance on the run, and you can see the power on that shot.
This will be interesting. You and I covered the game when Georgetown played Notre Dame in the quarterfinals. Graham Bundy Jr. had 5 goals in the fourth quarter. 4 of them were against Liam Entenmann before he exited the game. So he's had success in one-on-one matchups. So watch 7 and white when he stares down Entenmann.
Right. Who's on?
Hit the pipe. Stays with Denver. O'Neill cutting in front. Now here's Zawada. Quarterbacking from X. Has a short stick on him, and it's Costabile, so he gets rid of it up top. He'll look to take advantage of that situation if he gets it back. Hanley. Back to his left. Got a better angle shot. Entenmann makes the save.
What a stop. That is a big-time save from the Rook. Using kind of his body to launch himself to the opposite pipe on Sam Hanley. That just shows you Liam Entenmann he's something else.
This is going to be a great opportunity for New York, and making the stop on the other end is McElroy.
Owen McElroy against the Redwoods a week ago, 64%. His best day career-wise in the PLL. Heating up, so you have all these young guys offensively, and then you have the veterans defensively with Manley, Bernhardt, and JT Giles-Harris. The goalie's feeling it too, so this team is much improved.
Anderson got back up on his feet and took the shot. Entenmann makes the save from his knees. Oh, we might be back and forth up and down this field tonight here, Cart. Man, that is deadly, isn't it? Teat from a tough angle makes it look easy.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Check this guy's blood pressure. It's like he's got no pulse out there, and he makes these plays look so simple because of his technique, his style, and his ability to just beat goaltenders with deception. He gets McElroy thinking low. Look at McElroy's stick right there. He thinks Teat is going low, and at the last second, he just rises the rock.
The Atlas coming off their first loss. They did score 12 points last week in the loss to the Whips in Minneapolis, but this offense looks like it wants to get revved right back up again like it was the first 4 weeks of the season.
Hey, go.
Baptiste on the run.
This is going to be a difficult task for Luke Weirman, as great as a college career he has had.
And that's going to be difficult for the entire Denver defense. That one hit the pipe, although the players are saying it was a goal.
Yeah, that one might be reviewed by Mike Pressler.
Goes out of bounds.
Hopefully we'll take a look at this.
The Atlas players swore up and down that was a goal. There's the flag.
Of a no goal is under review.
So Pressler doesn't even throw the challenge flag. Blaisdell came out and said it's up for review. So look at Pressler right now. He's getting a bird's eye view. Let's take a look at it.
Oh,
that's a goal.
Next. That's about as easy of a call as you'll see.
Another rookie, Jake Stevens.
Yep. Watch the twister at the end, though. That's a sick goal. He's so good at finishing inside. Last week he had a couple goals right on top of the crease area too. He occupies the same set places as a Westberg from the California Redwoods.
Good goal. After review, Colin Fields changed. Good goal.
So it was a coach's challenge, successful coach's challenge. Jake Stevens nets his third of the year.
So in 2023, he's one of the best extra man players in the country at Princeton. He scored so many goals inside, and then this year at Syracuse, he was asked in his 5th year, his grad transfer year, to do a lot of little things defensively, wings, but his bread and butter is in transition when the defense is vulnerable. He's a great cutter, and he can finish. And you just saw the deception late on that shot. A lot like Jeff Trainer. Those are two nasty twisters we've seen tonight. Trainer for the Cannons, Stevens for the Atlas.
A great body control, by the way, to stay out of the crease, too, to tiptoe around the crease. Avoided the crease violation. Teat with 2 assists in those last 2 goals. Right off the face-off. Weirman shoots that one wide. Check that Teat with 1 assist and 1 goal. Scored that 2nd goal for the Atlas.
Interesting matchup. They have Gavin Adler against Brennan O'Neill, a lefty on a big, heavy lefty.
Denver's out of sorts a little bit offensively here, and it's picked off. And that's Makar. Gets it into the offensive end. Denver was really out of sorts on that possession. They better not be out of sorts too long against this Atlas team, although it could get to a point where it's too big of a hill to climb. And in a hurry. Dixon cutting, can't find him. Ball down in front, picked up by Miles Jones. Jones absorbing the check. Good job getting it back to Teeter. Behind the back pass. Score! Dixon got dunked, but he's able to find the back of the net. That is a thing of beauty.
Stop it. Please stop it. This is ridiculous. And it's everything you would think it would be as the flag flies through the air.
White, number 36. Unnecessary roughness. 1 minute.
Jesse Bernhardt hit him late. It'll be a 1-minute man up.
He smacked Dixon, but it was well worth it. The combination we featured off the top. Backhand beauty. Jeff Teat around his back to Dixon, who catches everything and finishes everything. Best passer, best scorer. Xander Dixon is so good off the ball. Look at the subtle movements in front of the cage to get his hands free. It's a step here, it's a step there. And watch the wrist action. The way that he catches into a high crease crank is unbelievable. Just a subtle awareness of where a player like Jeff Teat is to get him the rock. A little backhand glory. Let's go under the helmet with Xander Dixon. Xander, it's Kark up in the booth. Why are you so good off ball?
I think
Just sort of a commitment to play in that position, you know. A lot of guys want the ball and they're sick, but I got Connor and Jeff Teat, so they're definitely a lot better than me at that. So just trying to help the team, you know, play off ball, move around, mess up the defense a little bit. Get a couple of goals if we can.
How would you describe the subtle movements when you're off ball and why they're so critical?
You know, I think people see the goals and people see those kind of plays, but I think a way bigger part of this role is just sort of messing up defensive slide schemes, and I kind of know what their defense wants to do every game, and just being able to throw a wrench in that and keep their slides away from our Dodgers and let them do the work. So
you're fun to watch. Keep it up.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Xander Dixon under the helmet, powered by Cash App. 4-0. New York on top here in the first quarter. Denver is in the danger zone right now because Baptiste is winning draws, and Denver's offense is back humming. Baptiste has won 4 out of the 5 draws so far today. Denver also, throughout the season, they've not had a very good time in the first quarter. I mean, it's been difficult for them. 0 for 6 shooting today. They've been outscored 16-4 in the first quarter through their first now 5 games. Costabile. Oh, the shot bounced up. The pass actually bounced up and hit the pipe. That almost went in. Atlas retained possession. More fancy passing and a finish by Schellenberger. You're going to give that team a second chance? No way. And Denver is in disarray offensively and defensively right now.
It's like the combination of backyard lacrosse, but functional and systematic. Like the 2 behind the back passes by Teat just break the defense down, because look, everyone is in disarray. And then that pass off of that by Jacoby. This is a brilliant pass right here. 88 in blue just spot feeds Schellenberger, and Schellenberger knows. You see when he leaves his feet and he catches all in one? He knows he doesn't have the time to catch, plant his feet, make a fake or two because of the congestion of that defense. So in a fraction of the second, he gets that quick stick off.
Wehrman wins it to himself. Good look on the far side. Shot is high.
Cotter, when this team is clicking, it's just
fun to watch.
Frightening.
Yeah, it is fun to watch, and they are clicking right now, up 5 goals early.
83 goals in their first 5 games.
Hanley physically pushes his way through a 2-point shot. Nothing doing for Graham Bundy, but you can see the velocity that Bundy can get on a shot, but Entenmann just too good right now.
And this is the stat that really got me in the off week when I was just studying this team. Most assists in the league. Atlas, 48. The next team coming into this weekend, 26. Almost double the amount of assists of any other team in the league. Just tells you how they spread the ball and get everyone involved.
Schellenberger. 4 of the 5 goals assisted today. Now here's Jonesy. Having a little bit of a renaissance season himself, Miles Jones. Really fitting into this offense well. There he is on the near side. Down the alley. Puts a shoulder in the defender. Gets in front of the goal. Forces the save by McElroy. It's contagious. Shot clock winds down. And McElroy, I guess, didn't get a piece of it. Didn't
I think Schellenberger thought it was a reset.
Yeah, he and I both.
They might be looking at this.
It's going to be challenged by Mike Pressler.
Previous play of no shot clock reset is under review.
If it hits either the pipe or the goalie, shot clock reset.
Can hit the back of the net.
Or the side of the pipe. Got to hit the front of the pipe. Now let's take a look at it.
I mean, that looks like it hit McElroy.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's,
I don't know who else that could have hit other than the defender.
I mean, that's right off his head.
Yeah.
That's part of the goal.
Yeah,
his head.
They'll reset that shot clock, and New York will retain.
So at first, I was like, does Schellenberger not know the rules here coming from
and
college?
McElroy's like, look, it would be better for the team if I didn't speak up, but I made a hell of a save.
Yeah, exactly.
shot was on cage, hit the goalie. Blue was closest to the end line. That'd be blue ball with a reset at 32 seconds.
Atlas retained, reset the shot clock to 32.
I remember last week in Minneapolis, this is one of the great lines, Cotter. One of the players was challenging Matt Palin before he actually looked at the video. He said to him, "Don't worry about it. I know how to watch TV."
Matty Palin taking the week off. So Josh Blaisdell filling in. There's Josh. Brian Abbott, Dave Pinciaro, Mike McClaskey, our officials for the weekend.
Yeah, Dave's a local Boston guy.
Yeah, we saw him before the
He's used
game.
to doing pro lacrosse games here. He's a wonderful man.
Happy to have him on board this weekend. Denver needs to stand up defensively here. Shot up front, Dox Aiken couldn't handle it.
Guess who?
I know, it just finds its way into the back of the net, doesn't it?
Guess who? The lefty assassin. Jeff Teat is putting together one heck of a first quarter, and we still have 4 minutes left. I mean, this is clinic-like from Teat. To put in perspective, is 39 points. 44 is the record, and we're not even at the All-Star break. He's on pace to like 75 points this season. This is what you got to see. Do you remember the last time he had McElroy guessing low, and then he stuck it high?
Yep.
Where did he have him guessing here? McElroy was confused. Is he going high again? Where did he shoot? Low.
Yep.
I mean, he just plays mind games with the goalies.
Got 2 and 2 on the day. And Baptiste, this is a team that looks like they were not very happy with that loss last weekend and did everything they possibly could this week to put that in the rearview mirror.
You think?
I mean, they are 6-0, and like to your point, we still have almost 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
You're alone. Alone, Michael. Alone.
Teat's got 4 points in the first quarter. 39 on the season.
Now he's got his defender hung up. He'll be looking for a cutter. Look at the motion, the washing machine in front of the net.
They're all going to work hard because they all know they could get the ball.
They got it right there that time, and McElroy had to make the save. And he did so, robbing Dixon. Now, what can the Outlaws possibly do on the offensive end? Jake, what are you hearing down there?
Yeah, a couple of minutes ago, Coach Sudan for Denver, he said it's not about X's and O's for them to get on the scoreboard. It's about freaking guts. And he didn't use that word freaking. I'll let you guys figure out the exact wording he used, but it wasn't pretty, and they have a huge hole to climb out of early.
And it's going to take a lot of guts and some outstanding performances in order to do it.
You want to know the scary part of all this, too? You're giving your rookie goalie who's getting his first start a 6-0 lead to keep his composure, his blood pressure low, right? This is perfect for Liam Entenmann.
Jonesy, back to the middle of the field. Got some room, and McElroy makes the stop.
That was a great move.
I'm telling you, don't you feel like he's just a different player this year in many ways?
He's moving really well. He's a dad now. He's got a baby girl. That puts things in perspective.
Good look at Miles Jones, the veteran out of Duke.
Hey, alone, Michael.
Denver keeps, or I should say, New York keeps possession on the shot. Teat looking to operate. Here's Schellenberger. Costabile out of the box. Looking to dodge on the shorty, down the alley. On the run, shoots. McElroy makes the save. McElroy has actually not been so bad today. He's just been under siege. 7 saves in the first quarter.
I mean, has he allowed a bad goal? No. This is coming off a great performance a week ago against the Redwoods.
Now on the offensive end for Denver, 6v6.
You want to see O'Neal try this matchup. It's not an easy one against Adler.
Bundy. Working on the short. He got his left hand free, but that's not what he wanted. Now inside, and Denver finally gets on the board. And it's Dylan Gerger who finishes it off.
Gergar's one of these players, when you watch him on tape in college at Penn, really good off the ball, kind of like a Xander Dixon, where you have to account for him on the high crease, not just the layup inside, but the 8 to 10 yard high crease action, and he can let it fly as well. This is a beautifully placed ball by Gergar, and teammate of Sam Hanley in college. Liam Entenmann, his first goal allowed as a starter. Allowed 2 last week, making 4 saves. Carpenter scooping at GB. What else is new?
This is new, you're right. He has been really impressive.
You know what's interesting, Cotter? You have a matchup here I'll get to in a sec.
Oh, Entenmann with the save. Carpenter picking up another GB.
See that stop by Entenmann, though? Like, he gets low for a big, long guy. He can flop low quick.
Baptiste still in the game. Carries it across the midfield line. Now gets to the stick of Schellenberger. Baptiste will exit. Jonesy now with Costabile and Stevens in the midfield for the Atlas. Now it's Dixon back at X. With Giles Harris hung up, looking for a cutter. Horn sounds to end the first quarter. What a first quarter it was by the Atlas. Maybe the only mistake of that entire quarter is not getting a shot off there as the quarter clock was winding down, but impressive nonetheless. Mike Pressler has his team bouncing back from last week's first loss of the season. 2-2 for Jeff Teat. On the receiving end, Xander Dixon, as he so often is, finishing it off. Teat can finish as well. All Atlas after 1.
Making the PLL record Marcus Holman holds for 44 points. He possibly can almost double that. It's just nuts, his production this year. And it's going to be really hard to slow him down because he's got the complete attack unit.
Baptiste all the way in and scores again, his second of the night.
I remember watching Trevor Baptiste when he was in college at the University of Denver. And they play a lot of these small-sided games. And I was like, wow, this guy can really shoot the rock, and he's got unbelievable offensive skill. He's getting harassed here on the double. How does he hold on to that ball? And Jake Pacino, the rookie, tries to chase the veteran Trevor Baptiste down, and wow, what did he do there that just stood out, Cotter? It was the ability not to bring the stick back. If he brought the stick back, Pacino was going to trail check him. He kept that stick in front of his body the entire time and just snapped his top wrist.
Goals in 15 and 13 seconds after the draw on the night for Baptiste. 7-1, New York on top.
O'Neal still doesn't have a shot, the rookie #1 pick. He's being guarded by Gavin Adler. O'Neal is 6'3", 240 pounds. Adler's 5'8", 180.
That shot stopped by Entenmann.
Jake, I know you're down there with Trevor Baptiste. What do you got?
All right, Trevor Baptiste, it's been a struggle the last few weeks. You wouldn't know it tonight. A couple of goals, winning the majority of the face-offs. Back on the right track. How's it feel so far?
Feels great. I mean, I think last week for all of us wasn't too great. Obviously, being our first loss of the season, but it feels good to be back on track. We just got to keep playing hard.
And how does it feel to get in the scoring column a couple of times so far?
Feels great.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, fellas. Costabile, Jonesy's going to find him. He steps into a shot. Straight up in the air. McElroy makes that save. Atlas wins the battle to the loose ball. This is trouble right here. Schellenberger slows it down a little bit with a fresh 32 to shoot for New York. He's got some time. He's got Dixon in front if he chooses. Instead, Teat behind the back off the pipe. And again, run down by New York. We'll get a call here, though. Push, loose ball against the Atlas. Denver picks up the ball.
I'm watching Jesse Bernhardt blanket Xander Dixon inside. I mean, he's trying not to give him an inch because he knows if he frees up, Schellenberger and Teat are going to give him the ball. Bernhard is using that motor. Relentless effort by the veteran to just fight tooth and nail with Dixon inside.
Here's Dalton Young. Trying to spin upfield, nothing doing. Zawada kind of taking over the role of quarterback on this team often at X. Finding O'Neal. Here's just his third touch of the game. Spins back toward the goal. He shoots wide.
So I talked about the height and weight discrepancy of Gavin Adler and O'Neal, right? 5'8" against 6'3", 180 against 235, 240. Adler is so strong, and if you watch him when he plays big guys, he just locks the hip. So hard to get past him.
Low center of gravity. Zawada picks up the loose ball in the middle of the field.
You like how I showed you locking the hip, and I'm whacking your
Whacking
hip in the
right
booth?
in the hip. O'Kinney. Shot goes wide. Now we get a call, going to be in the crease, going to go against Denver. Atlas will look to counter quickly. Teat, a lot of heat on that shot, just wide. New York is relentless on the attack.
Alone right now, Jesse.
It's funny, you saw Xander Dixon, he flipped the ball to himself and he felt it. I think he was checking if it was a greaser. There's no greasers in the PLL. What's wrong with you, Xander?
Watch the roll back here. Watch the roll back.
Cross dictionary, greaser, old lacrosse ball. It doesn't have the same feel anymore as a new ball.
Taking a foot off the gas. Get in!
Watch out here. Terfenko.
Cover the Miles!
Now Gergard scored the only goal of the night for Denver, 40 in white. Back out to Hanley. Denver making some changes. Hanley inside, shoots. Entenmann makes the save. 6 on the night for Liam Entenmann. Teat picks up the loose ball.
Hey, let's go, numbers! Miles! Miles!
Got Mike Pressler mic'd up.
Run. Can't happen. Can't happen. He's fine. You're ready to show him you're good. Go back. Hold. Taking a foot off the gas.
Turnover against New York. You heard Pressler talk about warning his team about taking their foot off the gas. 5 turnovers now on the night for New York.
You know, you look at this offense, it's putting up historical numbers, and now you have a defense that's growing up with 2 second-year players, and Adler and Makar, and now a rookie goalie in Liam Entenmann. It's not going to be fun playing this team. That's just the reality.
Pass deflected, it'll stay with the Outlaws. Coach Pressler talking to his team.
They stockpiled picks, trades, and various other things rolling their way in terms of the combination of timing.
Shot high.
In trades, right? They had a lack of success a couple years, but then they made some trades where it just allowed them to be in the mix this year. They got the 5th pick. They got Entenmann because of the Chris Gray trade.
Right.
So, I mean, they've strategically done some things with trades. And
I think 3 of the first 11 picks they had this year.
Yeah, a couple years ago, they took the Cannons with the Paul Rabel trade, a couple of first-round picks there, so they stockpiled there. That's where they were able to get better defensively over the years with Adler and Makar, and now offensively you bring in Schellenberger to team up with Teat. It's like the perfect storm the way that the drafts work in some of these trades.
Stevens looking for an opening, can't find one.
Hey, who is it here? You're alone.
Costapil working on a short, he dives. Will we get a push? I think we're going to get a push here with possession. Going to go against Denver.
I don't know about this. I want to see the replay.
Fouls on Denver. Number 39. Push, 30 seconds. This say media timeout.
I thought Costabile left his feet, at least in real time. Is this a push? We'll see in the replay. It's tight.
The game isn't. Here at Harvard Stadium, fans loving it, and why not? Gorgeous night for lacrosse. Opened back in 1903. Patriots played here for a minute. Hosted some of the soccer games in the 1984 Olympics. It's interesting. The LA games. Atlas fans enjoying what they've seen so far. Alex Smith not enjoying the fact that he's in the penalty box right now.
Yeah, we were talking about it. It looked like Costabile, initially, maybe it was a push if he fell right from that initial contact. But it was like 3 steps later, he left his feet.
He embellished it a bit, but he got the call.
The bad news is, if you're the Outlaws, you're down 7-1, and you're going against this New York Atlas power play that's 45% on the season. They're 1 for 1 tonight.
Of course they are.
I mean, it's scary.
Now they'll put it in play. That's Jacoby, 88. Had a beautiful pass earlier in the game for an assist on a Schellenberger goal.
Back left. Back left.
Now Jacoby with the feet up top.
Back right.
Over to the far side. Teat was cutting, couldn't get it. Costabile now picks up the loose ball, finds Teat in front, he scores.
It's such a selfless offense. Said it earlier. Almost double the amount of assists of any team in the PLL because everyone gets involved, and when you know you're a passing first team, everyone works harder off the ball, including your best passer. Jeff Teat just understands there's a seam up there. All the eyes are on the outside shooter of Costabile, and that's a brilliant pass by Costabile. There's some deception with his head there. It looked like he was going to the next man in the rotation, Jacoby. Like the Warriors offense, I'm buying that. That's a good tweet, the New York Atlas offense. Jake, you were in the huddle before. What were the Atlas offensively talking about?
Yeah, assistant Stephen Brooks was preaching, take the best shot, not necessarily the next shot. And he said this was a crucial 5-6 minutes ahead. You wouldn't know by the vibe of that huddle that these guys were dominating the way they are right now.
Stephen Brooks, offensive coordinator for the Atlas, got a loose ball whistle. Gonna go against Trevor Baptiste in the Atlas.
He's an outstanding coach, Brooks, the offensive coordinator. And Mike Pressler's got 2 really good coaches with Kevin Understein defensively, Stephen Brooks. They understand the pro game. They speak the same language as the players.
Entenmann, no problem with that shot. Easy save for Entenmann. Watch out here, Makar doesn't let it fly. Instead, gets it to an even better option on the bottom, and that's Peyton Rozanka. You're right, everyone's eating here. Peyton Rozanka out of Loyola. Give him a goal.
Yeah, Peyton Rozanka's a short stick D-midi. Put him in Jeff Teat's lefty low spot. He'll shoot like Jeff Teat. This is something else. I mean, look at the ball movement here. Makar with a really nice pass. And how about the shot from the short stick, Rozanka? Peyton Rozanka out of California was a wonderful high school football player, defensive back, gritty athlete, injured a year ago, was not able to play. Mike Pressler drafted him regardless, had him on the shelf for a year, understanding when he was healthy, he was going to be able to crack the lineup. And that is the truth.
Colby Smith picks up this GB.
Let's go, match up.
New York is 9 for 20 shooting today. And we'll get another opportunity here on the offensive end.
You know who's not 9 for 20 shooting? Denver. They're 1 for 16.
That is not 9 for 20. That's not going to beat 9 for 20. 1 for 16. Aiken gets underneath the defender, tries to get it to a teammate. Gets knocked off his line, Stevens, and it goes the other way. Good look. Manley, nice catch. Gets a much better look and shoots it wide. Unforced error, man. When you're trying to come back in this game, you cannot afford to do that.
I'd like to see O'Neal get aggressive here. What do you have to lose, right? You're down 9-1. You got to test this matchup with Gavin Adler. And O'Neal last week, I thought, did a really nice job against the Redwoods. Even though statistically he didn't have a big game, but he was a big reason why those step downs for Graham Bundy Jr. were flowing, because he was drawing the defense, and wasn't the first of his pass, but the second pass away offensively that led to those.
Jones.
See him be aggressive.
Look at that pass inside. Xander Dixon, the rarity, loses it before he gets the shot off. Denver looking to attack quickly. They do and score. It's Gergar, his second of the night. He's the only thing working for them on the offensive end.
We saw him on the high crease, and I said he also has range. This is what range looks like when it stares you down. Just pops that top shelf on the rookie sensation, Liam Entenmann. You see Entenmann goes to his knee, and the ball just screams right under the top pipe.
Gergar's 2 for 5 shooting on the night.
Grabbing him. Nick, roll! Nick, roll!
Grill comes out of there with it. Here's Weirman. Back to Grill as he subs out. Let's see if Denver can build a little bit of momentum for themselves in the final 2.5 minutes in this first half.
Gergar 2 for 5 shooting. The rest of the team is 0 for 13. Who's stepping up?
Dalton Young with a nice couple of moves.
Make it 0 for 14.
Yeah, can't get it on net. Tracked down by O'Neal. Only 6 seconds to shoot. O'Neal's just going to have to drop it there. Shot clock violation. That's what happens when you win the face-off and it takes you too long to substitute in and out, right, Clark? You just have no time to get anything going.
Precisely.
Hey, be loud!
And that's what I think the Atlas, in year 2 of the 32-second shot clock off a face-off win, understands, because Baptiste, he broke that whole philosophy in, right? Winning at a record pace a season ago, you learn how to play early offense.
Winning it to himself and taking it right to the goal, that's proved effective.
But also just their awareness, and when you kick it to the wing with Jeff Teat, he's so good at finding that next player in the rotation. And if you don't pick him up from the low wing, he lets it fly. So I think what's allowed the New York Atlas this year to really blossom is you're taking some pressure off of Jeff Teat with Connor Schellenberger, too. He's the second quarterback in the offense.
Now look, remember,
That's
not
Stephen
there.
Brooks
Up here,
dialing something up.
We got one more, and then we got that 2-man game on the backside, and then you got to set a seal for Teeter on the inside.
Is that Stevens right now?
That is whoever the short stick. Whoever the short stick.
I'll be right here. I'll send the pick.
Careful, they might shut this guy. Ducks, gotta get in here. Yes, if they shut the shorty, carry over and go.
You heard him say the 2-man on the backside,
Right, execute this.
setting the seal for Teeter. So Jeff Teat having an opportunity to make it rain even more.
Minute 39 left in this first half. 42 seconds on the shot clock for Miles Jones and the New York Atlas. Jones, you'll put it into play. Dave Pinciaro handing him the ball at the 30-yard line. And here we go. 42 seconds to shoot. Doc's Aiken now with Grill on him. Terafenko making it tough on Costabile, so here comes Aiken.
Hey, you're good. Check through. Hard. Check, you're ready, check, right.
Teat, head up, gets it back to Jones. Jones gets to the middle of the field, doesn't have much of a shot though. Back to his left. Shoots it high. That shot was deflected. Schellenberger tracks it down, 15 to shoot. Couple of ones, Schellenberger on Giles Harris. They know each other very well. JT Giles Harris went to Duke. Schellenberger went to Virginia.
Check.
That shot that pass rather just winged across the field as the shot clock was winding down. Atlas will set up their ride in this position. Under a minute to play. Here comes Bundy. Timeout called by Tim Sudan. Hoping to inch ever so closer with a goal in this possession with 48.4 remaining, down 7.
Hey, Sam Bundy, Ando. Sam Bundy, Ando, all right? Ando, you here? Yes, sir. Yep. I think we talked about Rambo, right?
Yeah.
Rambo?
Yeah, let's go Justin down the right alley. Brennan's going to pop. You're going to just either go through X or throw back to Brennan. I'm going to cut straight down. It's going to be a kind of a 2-on-2 with Bundy and O'Neal up top.
If he ends up carrying it behind, let's go Aussie with him.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Do you want to hold it for?
Yes, yeah. You guys want to start that lazy pick on this side, then throw it to Ando down the righty?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do that. Let's do that. Kill a little time. Use the clock. One shot here. Let's go.
Ando is Justin Anderson as you listen to Tim Sudan and Jeremy Boltis whip up some offense.
Ball ends on our end.
What's Ozzy then?
Ball ends on our end.
I heard Ozzy in there.
It's one of their calls. I think there's a pick action play too with potentially getting Graham Bundy Jr. involved. So you have Bundy Jr., who was the hot hand a week ago.
And a 2 would be nice.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, if you have Anderson, he's going to carry it. They said he could carry it down the wing. If you set a pick, you see 7 on the far screen there. Try to get him free.
Both players trip up, Anderson and Carpenter. Anderson gets back up, keeps possession. 30 seconds in the first half. Shot clock a little bit less. There's Bundy. He shoots high.
I mean, that thing is hammered, right? Like, that is just
gas.
total gas. I would try to find spots where there could be a carry, and he's following, coming off a pick.
Here's Anderson again. Now behind the cage. In front. Robbed by Entenmann. Great presence by Entenmann. 6 seconds. Can the Atlas get something quick? Shot on goal. McElroy makes the save. Now he fires it down. Entenmann will make another save. Goalies trading saves in the final seconds of this first half. No harm done. The harm had already been done. 9-2 New York. They're going to have to make much better decisions and bury some shots in the second half.
Yeah, we talk about touches. So New York star Teat has 20 touches in the first half. Brennan O'Neal has 5.
Yes.
And he's got 1 shot.
Entenmann making the save. Defender falls down. Now we're going to get a call.
It's going to be a push on the Outlaws. Makar hit the turf.
Number 88. Trip.
Oh, trip.
Against Pacino.
Saw
Pacino with
Makar.
the shot.
Yeah, I think on his way out.
Yeah.
It looked like he pushed him originally, but we'll call it trip.
There's Pacino. Another one of the rookies who's having an outstanding season out of Albany. Albany.
Yeah,
there's the
stick
trip right
got him.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
Inadvertent with the stick. It's going to be called.
That was a great stop by Entenmann.
Yeah.
Entenmann is playing really, really well.
Pacino can put some heat on it.
Entenmann's got 9 saves.
So this vaunted power play back on the field for New York early in the second half. 2 for 2 already on the day. Costa Beal up top. Feeds it inside. And another one. 3 for 3.
He's smiling for good reason. You know, Cotter, the crazy thing about Jeff Teat is when you watch him play and shoot, it's almost like before he catches the ball, he knows what he wants to do with the ball. It's nuts. He catches this on the low pipe. Watch him here, 7 in blue on the skip pass. He's got his head and his shoulders high. He just sticks this low. A skip pass can be a backbreaker. especially when you have Jeff Teat marinating on the backside.
Yeah, Costabile returning the favor to Teat that time with a great look. Yes, he is, Kyle. He may break that season scoring record tonight. This Atlas team is showing no signs of slowing down.
He's 3 away from tying it. Before the All-Star break, he could be the PLL single season
crazy
record holder
I know,
for points.
It's nuts.
I mean, that's nuts.
Danny Logan had to take that draw for New York, giving Baptiste a break.
Who's on?
So a chance for Zawada and Denver.
Might be hung.
Hanley inverted, but look at that power. Can't beat Entenmann though. About 10 fakes. Both of them with a little congratulative tap if you saw it at the end of that play. Like, man, nice fakes. Yeah, nice job hanging tough with it. Coming the other way, bodies are flying. Teat finds Schellenberger. Schellenberger rolls back inside. Shut off back to Teat. Here's Aiken out of the box. Docks. He shoots. Bouncer goes wide of the cage.
You're alone, Mike. Hey, Red! Alone. On the left.
Defender loses his stick on Teat. Big time advantage for 7 and blue. Swims free, shoots, and scores while falling down. That's it, isn't it? You're done.
Yeah, you see my hands waving?
Clark was like, that's it. I'm done.
I'm running out of things to say about Jeff Teat. Because when you think like, all right, now he's done because the guy doesn't have a stick, he's just going to kind of tackle him. You can't even tackle him. He's too slippery. This is incredible. I mean, watch, he's like almost down to the ground. And look where he shoots the ball, Cotter. You would think if he's going to get this shot off, he's going to shoot it low because his stick's low. He's able to change his levels when he's completely lost his core. These guys are laughing.
And Will Hawes is a veteran who was checking him without his stick, who knew he had to tackle him, and even he's saying, what do I do here?
But think about it. Like, if I'm throwing you to the ground and your stick is low, your ability to change levels and shoot high, it shouldn't be there.
It is for 7. Bundy shoots for range. Man, Entenmann looked behind him like, where did that one go?
You got to keep in mind, too, Entenmann with 9 saves. Denver averaged 15 goals their last 2 games. They're stuck on 2.
Zawada loses it. He's going to track it down, though, and get it back. Gerger. Entenmann makes the save. Shot bounces high.
Entenmann is completely exceeding my expectations, and I know how good this guy is. I covered him a ton in college at Notre Dame. But to come in your first start and have 10 saves and allow just 2 goals, I mean, it's almost like the ball's a beach ball right now.
Here's O'Neal. Shoots with his left off the pipe.
That's what you like to see more out of O'Neal. Like, be assertive, test Entenmann, go to the rack with authority. That's only his second shot today.
That one is directed wide. Denver's looking for a reset of the shot clock, and they'll get it. 32 seconds. Why doesn't O'Neal touch the ball on every trip down the field tonight for Denver, at least from here on out? Like, just give it to him and see what he can do. Anderson tried to feed it to Cross Ferrara.
Well, you know, they were down by 7 to the Archers in Charlotte about a month ago.
Now Entenmann's in trouble here.
And he had 7 points in the 4th quarter and overtime. He completely took that game over. It was one of the great performances you'll ever see in professional lacrosse history. Like, he was that good that night. He flipped a switch and he went nuclear. He has to do that tonight. The problem is this New York defense is owning all the other matchups.
Right.
And Weirman went on a tear. Weirman won 12 of 14 faceoffs in that game down the stretch against Sisselberger. He's not doing that against Baptiste tonight.
Teat shoots, tough angle, gets it back though. Teat's getting everything. Every ground ball's bouncing right back to him. That goal he had in the first half when Doc Sakin lost it, went right to him. Oh. Now Dixon looking up top, finds Jones. Jones might be the only person in the entire league who could have caught that pass, but he did. Now look at this pass to Costabile, and it's high.
That was a big-time pass
Yes.
by Jones. Yeah, I mean, he found that seam with pressure on him.
4 seconds to shoot. Dixon scores! Another masterpiece from Schellenberger to Dixon.
You know the combination. If you watch Virginia lacrosse, Schellenberger the passer, the dagger by Dixon, the off-ball master. 10 in blue does it again.
The PLL is proud to announce the first ever Stars and Stripes Classic featuring Green Berets battling Navy SEALs on the lacrosse field. Where do I sign up for that? It's going to be played on the quarterfinal playoff round. That's Labor Day at Gillette Stadium. So before the 2 quarterfinal games, they'll play the Stars and Stripes Classic. Visit PLLquarters.com to claim your tickets for all 3 games. Tickets for all military personnel are free of charge. You want to go under the helmet powered by Cash App, Paul?
Xander, it's Kark and Cotter up in the booth. I always see you during timeouts talking to your mate, Connor Schellenberger. What are you guys talking about?
We can hear you a little.
Xander, it's Kark up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
I was just asking. I always see you during timeouts. I saw you at Virginia do this too. You and Schellenberger are always talking. What are you talking about?
We're just talking what we want to do, the spots we want to be in to play off each other, where he wants me off ball, where I like him dodging from, just constantly trading ideas. I think it's helped us.
What do you think in terms of drawing a line between being covered and not covered as an inside guy?
I mean, with a ball like Shelly puts it, even with a guy on my back, like he's putting it high and away. We call it spot feeds. Did it a lot of Virginia, just put it to a spot and let me or a guy like Cormier go and get it. So he puts those balls in the perfect spot. We can have a guy in our hands and we're going to reach up there and try to get that.
Thanks, Xander.
Thank you.
New York shooting 12 of 30. Denver 2 of 27, and Gergar has both of those too. Colby Smith coming out of there with it. Teat on the run. Doc Sakin coming out of the box.
I think Dox has had a really good year too. He's kind of like a glue guy in the middle of the midfield lineup. If you need him to dodge a shorty, he can take advantage of it, like right here. He's going against Terefenko, who's a buzzsaw, but Dox is an elite athlete.
There you can see it.
There you go.
Played through that contact, and that isn't easy to do with Ryan Terefenko on you.
Terefenko, yeah, he's one of the best short stick defenders in the world, but this is how highly I think of Dox Aiken. Dox Aiken is so athletic, he's strong. It looks like he might be out of bounds. Is that the line there? Did he pull an Orlovsky? Todd Jones, our producer, called it out in the replay. It looks like he might have gone out of bounds, but regardless, he just shows you power, he shows you skill, he shows you speed, and that's his offhand too.
Yeah. Look at the girth on that midfield line. Aiken, Jones, Costabile, who's 6'2", 205, is the little guy in that group.
We covered Dox Aiken a bunch at Virginia, and all-time leading goal scorer from the midfield in program history. He's just so good.
The number of wins that he was a part of
yes,
there at Virginia.
Game winners.
Yes.
Called it Doc's time.
Now we're going to get a coach's challenge.
Before the dodge, he ran out of bounds.
This is what...
He was out of bounds.
I thought so too.
So... Now the question is, this has never come up as to whether this is even reviewable. Is it reviewable to review a player going out of bounds?
It's after you're 30.
So he's got 30 seconds.
30 seconds to throw the flag.
We're going to review it again.
There's no eligible challenge there. He will not be charged.
So they'll just pick up the flag like it never happened.
30 seconds passes. Okay, that line is the end line.
Correct.
The
end zone line is the end line.
Yes.
Yeah, so he is 2 feet.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
But this is the problem sometimes when you play with football lines.
Right.
I saw it happen in the NCAA quarterfinals. Virginia defender just randomly ran out of bounds because he got lost in the lines.
Yeah, there's a lot of lines out there.
And that's the one thing, lacrosse, we see it a lot. There's a lot of
there's red lines, blue
crossover
lines, white
fields,
lines, orange lines. Young trying to get into the defender, nothing doing. Heck of a job that time by Razanka, who has a goal in this game over and back. Be a turnover.
And you know, Dox is one of those nimble guys. His mom, Patrice, told me once, and Dox isn't going to be thrilled about this, but she put him in ballet lessons when he was a young boy, and he's got great
Fouls
feet.
on Denver, number 36. 30 seconds, delay game. Whoa, just stop.
That's frustration from Jesse Bernhardt.
Yes.
The violation killed him.
No, it's a play-on situation. It's a play-on situation.
I got you.
He's calling for a play-on situation that it shouldn't stop. And Jesse knows the rules.
Is it not a play-on situation?
Well, the way it is tonight, he's going to have to sit. Now, I thought the original call was over and back, which would have killed that as soon as it went onto his side of the field anyways. But I might be mistaken on that. Power play for New York.
Side left here. Side left.
Unless Jesse's saying it was deflected before it came onto that side of the field. But it's water under the bridge now. Got to defend against his power play. Costabile winds up.
He's got that heavy shot. Like, there's a difference between a really fast shot and a heavy shot.
Yes.
His is like both. You feel it, and then it comes out hard.
Knocked the stick right out of
Where, like,
Charles
Teat doesn't have a
Harris's
heavy
hands.
shot. Teat's is more of a natural little zip, yes.
Costabile gets underneath the defender, and he scores. Beautiful individual effort by 26 in blue.
And you know what opens this shot up for Costabile is the heavy shot that he had before, because when you're a heavy shooter, a lot of times defenders will come out and approach you and try to reach for the shooting angle. He's really good as a righty and a lefty shooter, so when he's outside and he's in the perimeter, you have to press, and sometimes when you press, it's a poor approach. So he gets Manley to overcommit, and that opens up the inside. I always say, like, outside shooters, your counter should be a dodge, because if you can shoot efficiently from the outside and you're always a threat, teams will flash and press out, and that's where you open up as a dodger.
Costabile's first of the night, the 8th different goal scorer for New York.
I got 52.
Ever competitive. Baptiste showing his displeasure for the call, despite the 14-2 score. Anderson skips it too high. It's a turnover. Nothing going right tonight for Denver. Coach Sudan frustrated.
11 turnovers. Now, 11 turnovers isn't a big deal when you have like 12 goals, right? 11 turnovers is a big deal when you only have 2.
Dox fires it lefty high. It'll be back to the drawing board a bit for Coach Sudan and his staff during the All-Star break.
Hey, talk to him.
Remember, they came into this game having only played 3 games, but leading the Western Conference by a half game. So it's certainly no time to panic, but they've got to figure some things out. Schellenberger puts us back into the defender. Double team comes from Grill.
Oh, that was
wide
the look.
open.
That
man.
was the look, yeah. Just unfortunate for Connor Schellenberger with the high pass, but that was terrific recognition of the backside being wide open because that's where the slide came from, just too high of a pass.
I think a lot of Denver fans will be watching, and they've watched all year long, and it's only 4 games for Denver, right? But O'Neal, as you said, and you talked about him going off against the Atlas, the other 3 games, he doesn't have the points. Now, you talked about how he was effective last week in drawing attention away from some of his teammates. But I think if you're a Denver fan, you're saying this is a generational type talent. I've been hearing this for a long time as Entenmann makes another save. And he's the #1 overall choice in this last draft, but he doesn't take over these games.
He's got 7 touches tonight. He's 0 for 3 shooting. 0 points. He's got 9 points in 1 game. That was the win against the Archers in Charlotte. One of the best performances we've ever seen in pro lacrosse. And then he has 2 points in the other 2 games.
And he was 2 for 10 shooting combined in those 2 games. And he hasn't done anything today. So the question is, and you hear the question every day, everybody does, why doesn't he take over more games?
It's the $1 million question. When he's on, he's one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, like the most unstoppable force in the world playing this game. And then in a game like tonight, he could have 0 and 0.
A complete non-factor.
With 7 touches. It's not like he's having a ton of touches and he's just missing the cage. He's not even in the offense. 7 touches. I mean, Jeff Teat has 33 touches. Brian Costabile, midfielder, has 28 touches. Dox Aiken has 26 touches. Schellenberger, 28 touches. O'Neal,
7.
7.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Doesn't make any sense.
Sam Hanley has 14 at the midfield.
Here he is again.
Justin Anderson, he's not the focal point of the offense. He has 11. He has more than O'Neal.
Dalton Young. Dalton Young is looking to dodge with the shot clock winding down. It's no slight on Dalton Young, but he has now just as many touches as Brendan O'Neal.
Jake, what do you have for us on Outlaws and the turnovers?
Yeah, obviously we just saw one there with the shot clock violation, but the crazy thing to me, guys, is entering today, they just had 50 turnovers, which was the least in the league. So just an odd performance on the offensive end from Denver.
Yeah, it's a good point. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong tonight for Denver, and a big part of that is New York. Final minute of play.
Watch the end line, Jeff. Don't pull a Dox. But, you know, you can't even blame Dox. He didn't get caught.
Right.
It's too late.
Teeter. Schellenberger tries to force it inside. Grill is there. He'll fire a shot high. Still 0.9 seconds remaining.
I think to put a bow on everything, though, you just feel like at times, and I love Brendan O'Neal's game. I've been on the record saying it multiple times. He's got a skill set that I've only really seen in terms of power, size, skill in Gary Gates. So that's how high I think of him. But there are times you watch him play, it's like, what's going on here? Is he going down swinging? Are the Outlaws going down swinging, giving him the rock enough? Well, Teat and the Atlas are going down swinging, and it's working. They're rolling.
What do you think of Jeff Teat's game tonight?
Marvelous. He's been absolutely marvelous. I mean, just his ability as a goal scorer and a passer. I mean, his stick work and his deception and where he puts the ball, it's almost like he's a step ahead of the ball, like before the ball gets to him. And then when you drape him and you put him in the most impossible spots, he hits it home. He's got 7 points, 5 goals, and 2 assists. He leads the league in points. He's going to smash the single season record, maybe by All-Star break.
You know what
it's
like?
The end of this game.
It's Gretzky-esque.
Yes.
His game is Gretzky-esque. The numbers he's putting up this year are Gretzky-esque, and Gretzky will tell you he's the great one in hockey, but he'll tell you that lacrosse is the national sport of Canada. And Jeff Teat, fellow Canadian, is putting forward a Gretzky-esque performance.
But stylistically, they're very similar. And I say this, Entenmann with another stop. I say this because the calmness in their game and how fluid they are. Like, they never look rattled. Like, have you ever seen Jeff Teat play the game of lacrosse and you feel like he's in a rush?
Frazzled in any way? No.
No, he's never in a rush.
They see it all happening before him before we all see it happening before him. Fans keep tweeting in your tweets. A lot of folks impressed with this New York performance, and why not? Here's Dox. He shoots and scores. No, they're going to wave it off. They're going to say he was in the crease before he scored. Great individual effort anyways.
Yeah, you see the athleticism of Dox Aiken. He is playing big-time lacrosse this year.
Take another look here. That left, I guess just saying that left foot, couldn't see it too well on that angle, but that was the call.
I mean, coming into tonight, he's got 9 goals, scored one earlier. He's got 10 on the season. He's putting together a year.
Tried a one-hand shot. See, Anderson is the type of veteran that this is not sitting well with him.
No.
What's happening tonight? So he's trying to take things over himself. Shot high.
You know, I think the other piece to this whole O'Neill situation is when you're coaching Brennan O'Neill, I think it's critical that you let him get into the flow of a game early. So even if he makes some mistakes, like give him his touches, let him get his shots, let him feel defensive pressure and get whacked and get into the game. I just felt like he never got into the game in the early stages of this contest, right? Like you just never felt his presence.
This game was like 5-0 before we even mentioned his name, I think.
And I told people, and this isn't a game where I feel like Gavin Adler was really tested, but I was an advocate for Gavin Adler last year going #1. I think he's a phenomenal lacrosse player. And last year, you go into pro lacrosse, you're going to have your growing pains, and Brett Makar, the two of them, top 5 picks, they're going to feel the difference in the college game. Your head can spin a little bit. Once again.
Yeah, speaking of making your head spin a little bit. 8 points on the night, 6 goals, 2 assists. He's just toying with them.
The calmness of the game, so watch this. He's allowing the defense, and in this case, Terefenko, who's now been beat for 2 goals. I think he's upset there's no slide because he's left alone with the best attackman in the world right now in Jeff Teat. But when you're that calm, you allow a play to develop, Cotter, by overcompensating defenders. If he was rattled and he's moving at 100 miles an hour, his thought process speeds up too much. His thought process is slow, it's distinct, and he understands, okay, if Terefenko is going to drape all over me and he's going to overcommit or he's going to hedge, I'm going to just use my body and I'm going to counter with calmness and poise. And that's what he does.
6 for 9 shooting on the night for Teat. 0 turnovers. Entenmann, 14 saves. He's saved 87% of the shots he's faced.
And that's kind of like overshadowed by Teat, right? This is Liam Entenmann's first start.
And it's been great. You see Teeter just 2 points away from breaking the single season scoring record.
Let's go, let's match up.
And this Atlas team is starting to win in different ways. I mean, Trevor Baptiste right now, believe it or not, is under 50% facing off. He's at 47%. Luke Weirman's done a really nice job in the later stages of this game.
And this will be 3 straight games where Baptiste is under 50%.
That never happens.
I would have never thought that would have been true.
That never.
It's never happened. Rustalin is telling us it's never happened.
So my point is, if you're not dominating at the stripe with Baptiste, where are you finding those possessions? Well, tonight, you know where those extra possessions are? Liam Entenmann
right in his stick.
Looks like JT might be cramped.
It is a humid night tonight here in Cambridge.
Humid day. You and I went out for pizza.
Right.
We couldn't wait on those lines. Some of those lines in the North End were
a lot of
ridiculous.
tourists today in town. Boston, July 4th weekend, makes sense.
We sat on a park bench and scarfed down piping hot pizza. I felt like it was a workout.
Right, look at Giles.
Yeah.
JT Giles Harris just...
He's done a nice job on Connor Schellenberger.
Right.
Schellenberger's got the 2 points on a goal and an assist. JT's one of the best defenders in the world.
And that is why Coach Sudan is a little concerned. We'll be back 15-2, New York on top here in the 4th.
Yo, you've been talking all game, Bernhardt. Nothing but chatter out of you, dude. There it is. Here's that good old slapjack. Keep talking, dude. Down by 12. Unbelievable what you guys talk. 2 on you. 2 on you. 2 on you. Keep throwing in the rep at that out of bounds play. You'll get that call. You'll get that call turned over for sure, dude. Down 12, running your mouth. Unbelievable.
Cash App powering athletes under the helmet. Xander Dixon chirping with Jesse Bernhardt a little bit. And if it's a 15-2 lead, to the victor go the spoils.
Yeah. Well, Bernhardt's held him to 2. That's under Dixon's average. But his team has 15. He's getting the last laugh.
Yep. What's going on down there, Jake?
Yeah, obviously Jeff Teat is 2 points away from the single season record with it not even being the All-Star break yet. I was eavesdropping on the offensive huddle for Atlas, and Stephen Brooks said, let's just pace ourselves, and then once the shot clock hits 15, then we go. Obviously, they're trying to drain some clock with the huge lead, but it'll be interesting. Once that clock does hit 15, does number 7 in blue get the look? Or they just do that?
And sometimes it's just too easy, Jake. And they just take the easy goal from Schellenberger, although the angle was nearly impossible. He's just too good to miss from there when he's that wide open, Card.
That wide open, but you know what's interesting? His 2 goals tonight are these quick sticks where he catches the ball like a crease attackman. And this is a quarterback, passer, dodger, shooter from range. Look at how quick he gets that off. It's like a one-time. That ball's in the stick for a fraction of a second. Not even a cradle. It's not even a catch cradle. It's boom. It's right out of his stick like it's a tennis racket.
Yeah, it's like his teammates Dixon and Cormier at Virginia.
Yep. And credit Brian Costabile. We've seen some really smart, high-level lacrosse plays from him in this ball game. One would be the over-committing defense where he opened up his dodge from the outside, first as a stretch shooter and then becoming that dodger, and then that pass across the heart of the defense.
Gergar has been the only offense for the Outlaws tonight. There you can see the record watch for Jeff Teat. It just continues to impress, and for Denver, a dubious record you don't want any part of.
I mean, the record holder was Marcus Holman, who averaged, around 4 points a game. Jeff Teat's averaging over 7 points a game. It's just unbelievable, his production.
O'Neal getting a touch on that possession, nothing doing.
And the craziness of all this is, moving forward, if you focus too much on Teat, like they have another elite option of a quarterback in Connor Schellenberger. So if you want to put all the focus on Teat, then you got to deal with Schellenberger, Dixon inside, Costabile and Doc Aiken and Miles Jones up top. Like, where does it end?
The Atlas hope it ends with the PLL championship trophy in September. And right now, they've got to be the odds-on favorite.
On your right! Hey, drive! Chili!
Stevens shoots wide. We'll get a chance to see Water Dogs tomorrow, Archers, Whips, Cannons again.
You're in Boston. What are you going to call them? Archers or?
Arches.
The Arches.
See, I don't want to be condescending to my friends here in Boston, though, and make them think that. Making fun of the accent, which I love, by the way.
It's great. I think of one of my all-time favorite Boston Cannons fans, Paul Muskovitz. Great friend of mine. He had the, or does have the hardcore Boston accent. And he makes fun of me because I'm from New York.
Right. You got that Yorktown upstate accent. Do people in Yorktown consider themselves upstate? It's more like Albany and Schenectady.
No, it's more downstate. We're only 35 miles from New York City.
But if you're from the city, Anderson, he scores. Look at that effort. We talked about him putting in the individual effort.
Yes, you did. He was one of those guys who will go down swinging.
And he's from Nevada, so to him, he has no idea what upstate means. Downs. To me, if you're in the city, anybody who lives in the city,
those people will consider upstate. Yes,
yeah,
but
Yorktown.
We don't consider ourselves upstate.
Westchester's upstate.
Westchester. This is a beautiful move by Justin Anderson. Watch how he uses the body too. Once he gets inside, the ability for him not to lose the ball was what was telling to me, because he made that great move, but then he had the defense draped all over him. Yeah. But once again, we saw something that we saw from Trevor Baptiste, and this is a good learning moment for all offensive players. When you feel backside pressure, don't bring the stick far behind your head. You're going to get trail checked, or in that case, jumped on, right? Because the defense wasn't even using the stick. But as an offensive player, when you get underneath or you get ahead of a player that's defensively all over you, if you can get that shot and not shoot with the head of your stick behind your ear, but everything in front of your ear, you have a way better chance of converting. That's what Anderson did. That's what Trevor Baptiste did in the first quarter.
Shot clock winding down. Another outstanding defensive effort by this New York Atlas team.
So what do we do about Denver moving forward? I don't know which Denver comes to play, because this is an offense that has 3 goals tonight, and in the 2 prior contests had 31 goals combined. It's over 15 goals a game. So which Denver team's going to show up?
Yeah.
Which Brennan O'Neal's going to show up? Which defense is going to hold it down and
Jesse, you're good, buddy. I got you.
And be the defense from a week ago where they held the Redwoods to 8 goals?
Right. And are you going to be good with the ball, or are you going to turn it over? That's the other thing, too.
And turnovers are okay when you're just playing hyper-speed
offense.
Left.
Left.
And you're putting a pace on the turf that's hard to match. But turnovers, when you play a slower, methodical brand like they did tonight, are catastrophic. Because you can live with turnovers when you play at hyperspeed. Because you know you're putting the other team in a harder place to match the chess match.
Oh, there's another assist from Teat, and behind the back from Xander Dixon.
That point ties the record for Jeff Teat for the most points in a PLL season, and we haven't even hit the All-Star break. So it's the 44 points for Jeff Teat. They're making note of it on the loudspeaker here in Boston at Harvard Stadium. Watch this catch and score by Xander Dixon. You feel the back.
The only chance he had.
Yeah, you feel the back of the defender, but the head of the stick of Mike Manley was in the front. So the front side pressure, Xander Dixon's not going to shoot through that stick, so he's going to hit him with a backhand. We've seen backhand passes by Jeff Teat. We've seen now behind the back scores by Xander Dixon, and all of them are the right play, functionally speaking, because you don't have your front side shooting opportunity there. I say the behind the back is your third hand. You have a right hand, you have a left hand, and you have a behind the back. That's your third hand. And you use that third hand when you catch with one hand, whether it's your right or your left, and you don't have the ability to switch to the opposite hand. So if Xander Dixon tried to switch to his left hand to increase his angle, he's got to deal with Mike Manley's stick. So that's where the third hand comes into place.
Jones tried to feed it to Stevens. Denver comes out of there with it. Watch out, Aikens. Wow, Doc's Aiken just lowered the boom, and he's going to have to sit for a while.
It's a free safety in high school at the Haverford School in Pennsylvania.
Fouls on Atlas, number 6. Unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
He's made a living of planting wide receivers in the open field. That time he'll get Aiken for unnecessary roughness. I think by Smith kind of turning,
I guess
Aiken probably let up a little bit as well. It could have been a lot worse.
So a rarity on the night, a power play for the Denver Outlaws. Final minute. I think Denver will try and take something out of this game. Anderson inside. Cross Ferrara scores.
They'll need him down the stretch as well. Cross is only shooting 12% on the season. He's had some good passing games down in Charlotte against the Archers, part of that second half comeback when O'Neal went crazy. That time Ferrara on his knees. Finally they get one past Liam Entenmann. That has not been something that's happened much in this ball game.
They're looking at this to see if it's a crease violation, but it looked to me like Cross Ferrara was outside of the crease.
I don't think, didn't look like his feet at all, maybe his hand, but it would have to have happened before it crosses the plane.
Yeah, but that
they
ball
did,
was
but the
across.
ball crossed the plane.
Yeah. That ball's got to be across the goal line before any part of his body is inside that circle, and it's across.
That's a clean goal.
After review, calling the field stands. Good goal.
Josh Blaisdell letting us know.
Josh and crew have done a nice job.
Yes, and they've been out there. You think about that, 2 games for them.
Yeah.
Up and down this field on a very hot and humid night, so good work by that officiating crew, no question.
Yeah, you thought eating pizza on a park bench
No
was
doubt.
tough.
We studied a little meteorology this afternoon to find out just how bad it was.
Do you remember I called you? I said, hey, I'm looking at my app. It says it's 96% humidity. Is that really humid? It sounds like it.
It's almost like the air is water. You know, like you're breathing hot water. Shot deflected. Probably be some fog tonight on the Charles River. You and I will wake up tomorrow. some breakfast, do a little working out, and get ready to do it all again. 2 more games tomorrow, right here on this very field. Buzzer sounds to end an historic night for Jeff Teat. 17-4, our final. New York with the win over Denver. Teat he ties Marcus Holman for the single season scoring record. Let's send it down to Marsh.
All right, Jeff Teat, you just tied a PLL single season record in points, and the All-Star break is next week. What was so easy for you tonight?
I think, coming off of a loss, I think we just had a different mentality of, wanting to bounce back right away, kind of clean up some mistakes we made last week, and we came out aggressive and tried to play as fast as we could.
How crucial is this for the momentum, knowing you have some extra time off with the statement victory?
Yeah, I think, every single game we play in this league is big, and for us to, get a win, some momentum going into the much-needed bye week or the All-Star break is going to be huge for us.
I don't think the All-Star lineups have been formally announced yet, but based off that record we talk about, I think it's safe to say we'll see you in Louisville next week.
Maybe. I think we'll see. Hopefully we got a bunch of Bulls on that roster because they deserve it.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. I think we'll see a ton of New York Atlas on that All-Star roster in Louisville next week. Like maybe half the team.
Yeah, this
team
team
of
is
the guys that deserve it.
This team is evolving with pieces to the puzzle to make a run at a championship. And Tim Troutner, let's give him the respect that he deserved. I mean, he played really well in the first 4 games of the season. Last week was tough in Minneapolis. And then you go to Entenmann late in that game and he has 4 saves and only allows 2. It's enough to give him that extra chance. And what does the rookie do today? He's brilliant, and Jake's with him.
14 saves for Liam Entenmann, his first career start at the pro level. I mean, you looked like a veteran out there. How'd you feel on your first career start?
Felt pretty loose, felt pretty comfortable, but nothing I do means anything if our guys don't take care of plays around the entire field, getting great face-off wins, great ground balls, unselfish play on the offensive end. So, team win for sure.
Jeff Teat's offense, how did that loosen you up and make you more comfortable in the crease?
Yeah, I mean, he's incredible. He's one of the best players I've ever seen, and just being able to be teammates with him for the last few weeks and going forward has been incredible. But yeah, having guys like that, Jeff and also everyone else on the entire field, and the coaching staff and the support staff, everybody so supportive of everyone. Just a great culture on our team, and I think that showed tonight.
All right, Liam, congrats on the win. Enjoy the All-Star break.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Appreciate that, Liam. Coach Pressler addressing his team. They head to the All-Star break at 5-1, having played their homecoming to open the season in Albany. So they've got 5 wins under their belts. They lead the Eastern Conference. They have the league's leading scorer in Jeff Teat.
And a goal differential that's going to be hard to match.
28. I mean, put that one in the bank. They bounced back from their first loss of the season last week as well in stylish fashion. Now they break for the All-Star break, even though many of their players will be playing in Louisville next weekend. Don't forget Archers and Whipsnakes tomorrow at 4:30 on ESPN+. That gets us all started for our doubleheader tomorrow. For Paul Carcaterra, Jake Marsh, and our entire crew, I'm Chris Cotter. Thanks for watching the PLL on ESPN. Good night from Boston.